After Saitama, who's really the strongest in One Punch Man? The only right answer is the guy with more forms than a Saiyan, Garo the Hero Hunter, and I'm about to tell you just what makes each of those forms so OP. Now, obviously, Garo didn't just start out as an unstoppable force of nature. In fact, as a kid, he was bullied all the time, forced to play the role of monster, whenever the other kids wanted to play pretend. With the perspective that experience gave him, Garo came to see villains and heroes as something way different from what anyone else did. To him, being a villain was being the underdog, forced to stand alone against hordes of so-called heroes. Good or bad wasn't even part of the equation to him. It was just about one person being ganged up on by everyone else, which was easy for him to empathize with. It was this mindset that led Garo to most choices he made throughout his life. As a young man, he trained at Bang's dojo, mastering his defense-focused water-flowing crushing rock fist. In short, it's a fighting style that puts the user in a Force Ultra Instinct state. With his mastery of this, Garo became capable of reading his opponent's every move with pinpoint accuracy. He was by far Bang's best student and the perfect martial artist when it came to pure skill. Unfortunately, that's where that ended. Like Tai Lung in Kung Fu Panda, there was a darkness within him that led him astray. After deciding he couldn't get any more from this place, Garo proceeded to single-handedly pack up every other student of the dojo while Bang was away, and stole his master's secret scroll to learn his forbidden exploding hard fist technique. From there, he left the dojo and started his journey as the infamous Hero Hunter. In just his beginning days as a Hero Hunter, he took down multiple A-class heroes, hardened criminals, and a force of 100 heroes that ambushed him under the command of Death Gatling. But even that's nothing compared to his battle against Tank Top Vegetarian and Tank Top Master, along with their underlings. To put it simply, Garo was getting absolutely washed in this fight. As strong as he was at Tank Top Master's mercy, proving how wide the gap between A and S class really is. See, in this defeat, Garo saw everything he hated about society with a passion. A couple of popular heroes in their gang, cheered on by the masses, all dogpiling on a single guy. In that moment, he dropped any mental barriers he had and gave himself fully to the battle. He had been avoiding using Bang's water-flowing crushing rock fist out of frustration with his old mentor. However, he whipped it out, deciding victory was more important. At the same time, his unmatched ability to adapt and improve on the fly. Every second he spent in the fight, his power grew until he was able to easily wipe out the entire Tank Top army. Despite this win though, Garo still wasn't quite on S-class level. After all, in his later fights with Metal Bat and Watchdog Man, he didn't exactly lose, but he was definitely on the back foot. Before that though, he faced the Death Gatling ambush. Keep in mind, Garo was still recovering from several injuries at this point. Not only that, but all of the heroes gathered to bring him in were specifically prepared to end his life. Just one problem with that: him against the world is Garo's ideal scenario. Even beaten, battered, bloodied, and near broken, he stood his ground, and as the battle went on, he adapted. Soon enough, they were the ones getting blitzed, and before long, Garo had won the fight, all on his own. Unfortunately, the fight's far from over because next, Genos joins the lobby, and like every other fight he's been in, the setup's not even close to fair to Garo. He's exhausted, injured, and has wounds on top of his old wounds, and Genos is fresh off the charging rack ready to nuke him. And yet somehow, Garo still pushes back. Even through pain, dulled senses, and burnout, he kept going through sheer willpower, abandoning all common sense and instinct for power. Ironically enough, that animalistic shift in mindset comes with Garo copying the moves Watchdog Man used in their fight, making him seem even less human. And this is where Garo's second form comes in, the Frenzied form. Pushed into fighting like a wild, cornered animal, Garo's eye became bloodshot and his hair was dyed in his own blood, leading to an appearance that matched his fighting style. However, almost as soon as he gets to this level, Garo's forced to fight against his own former master Bang, and with his superior mastery of water-flowing crushing rock fist, Bang thoroughly wipes the floor with his old student. But that's not all. See, Bang wasn't alone at this point, partnering with his brother, Bomb, to two-man Garo. And, well, you all remember what Garo hates most by now. Enraged by these supposed heroes acting so unjustly, Garo exploded with anger. In his fit of rage, he displays his unmatched adaptability once more, using Tank Top Master's technique to force the geezers away. Unfortunately, Garo's body was still human at this point, and he couldn't keep fighting much longer. Luckily, Phoenix Man appears just in time time to grab Garo and get out of there before he loses. It's at this point that Garo is recognized as a full-on monster, as the Monster Association are the ones who saved him. Afterward, during his recovery from that whole disaster, Garo ends up facing two monsters that he'd normally be able to beat, Royal Ripper and Bug God. Normally being the key word, because they preyed on Garo's little remaining humanity by threatening a kid he'd come to care for. Seeing this, realizing how he was being held back by that humanity yet unable to abandon the kid, Garo's fury forced him into his next form. In the simplest terms, he's now a half monster. In this form, Garo's bindings fuse into his flesh, becoming part of his body. As soon as he enters this form, Garo speed blitzes Royal Ripper, blowing him apart with a single hit. Not only does he humiliate and kill both high-ranked monsters, he takes Royal Ripper's bandages as a trophy, allowing them to fuse into his being with the rest of his bindings. Now, as a half monster, Garo loses even more of his humanity, choosing to eat monster flesh to restore his strength. Or rather, he doesn't care about things like that anymore. As long as it's flesh, he doesn't care what it's from. As a half monster, Garo took down several other monsters, using his experiences so far to come up with counters and takedowns for any enemy before him. One of these monsters he faces is the dragon-level overgrown rover, or Pochi. As powerful as he is at this point, Garo still can't take Pochi down, but even just surviving the fight is a feat that puts him firmly at dragon level. After that, Garo was restrained by Psychos through one of his minions, while the doctor went on about how Garo's potential is even greater than Orochi, the king of monsters. But what he didn't count on was Garo still having every last bit of control as before, even in this monstrous form. Using his ability to copy others' moves as if he's got a freaking Sharingan, Garo channels Metal Bat's fighting spirit to free himself. And that's his least impressive feat as a half monster, because he goes on to be impaled by Orochi, scorched by Behemoth, and crushed flat like a pancake. What's impressive about that? Well, he survives all of that. In fact, not only does he survive, he goes on straight into battle again when he wakes up, one-shotting Puri Puri Prisoner like an annoying bug despite being an S-class hero. At this point, Garo's reasoning was all but gone, his only instinct being to fight and destroy everyone around him. It's because of this that he comes face to face with Darkshine, the man with the single highest raw strength in the world, a man who's so tough that he's never been injured, a man who's so strong that he, well, you get the idea. So to no one's surprise, Darkshine claps him so hard that it literally knocks his sense back into him. Unfortunately for the big bulky champion, yes, that was a BBC joke, sue me, that allows Garo to combine his newfound power with his martial arts mastery. Even with that though, Garo couldn't break through the walls upon walls of sheer muscle Darkshine possessed, and the hero eventually landed a hit that shattered his entire ribcage like glass. And yet, Garo still didn't let up. His mind filled with this hatred for heroes, Garo's adaptability comes into play yet again. In the middle of the battle, with no warning, he starts evolving. Little by little, Darkshine starts being pushed back and realizes Garo's power is literally rising by the second. It's towards the end of this battle that Garo finally does something only one other man ever has. He breaks through his own god-given limiter, just like Saitama did in the past, bringing him to a whole new level in form, known simply as Spiral Form. Unlike the other stages of his evolution, Spiral Form doesn't actually last very long. In fact, it's more of a stepping stone than anything, acting as an indicator of Garo's final bits of humanity giving way to full-on monstrification. While he's in Spiral Form, he defeats Darkshine and spares his life since the dude's pathetic state made him feel like a bully. From there, he finds a spot to be alone as he feels something changing inside him, threatening to overwhelm even his own self. As his evolution progresses and his Spiral Form gives way to the next one, Garo's true goal is finally laid bare. In a world where humanity is as flawed as it is, he believes in the need for true absolute evil, the need for there to be such an overwhelmingly powerful oppressive force in the world that everyone's united in their fear, forced to give up their divisions and biases. In essence, bro thinks he's Nagato. Finally, as his evolution is completed, Garo emerges in his newest form, where he's become a full-blown monster. Now a true monster, Garo's first opponent is none other than Bomb, who doesn't hold a candle to Garo anymore. Not only does Garo completely outclass him, he manages to copy Bomb's martial arts technique, leaving him with zero advantages. After pummeling Bomb, Garo went on to face Bang, fighting his old master yet again. Except this time, it's a true 1v1, and Garo's on a level of his own now. Throughout this battle, the only way Bang's even able to stay in the fight is through his awakened breath, which lets one draw out the very limits of their potential. Just one problem with that, Garo copies it, and considering he's already broken past his limiter, that means using awakened breath breath makes him unstoppable. The longer the fight went on, the less Bang could keep up. Between the limit-shattering awakened breath, his brutalizing heart-exploding fist, and his monsterized body, Garo outclassed him in every imaginable way. And then, just to throw some salt on the wound, he revealed that he's achieved something neither Bang nor Bomb were ever able to. With years between them and even more experience, they weren't able to combine their martial arts even as a duo. But Garo, in his endless growth, has done it. He now wields the Water Whirl Windstream style. Using this, just the shockwaves of Garo's attacks were enough to shatter solid rock, which is what allowed him to put down Bang once and for all. Just like that, Garo defeated the greatest martial artist in the world, taking that title for himself. And at the same time, the hardened shell of black armor he developed in this form starts breaking. Little by little, cracks appear, ready to reveal something entirely new from within. As these cracks grow, Garo goes on to face enemies like Flashy Flash and Platinum Sperm. Yes, that's his actual name, and he absolutely ruins them. Platinum Sperm alone moves so fast that he's able to leave after images. In other words, faster than light. And you know what Garo does? He outspeeds him. He defeats the strongest humanoid monster in the entire series at his own game, and it still doesn't stop there, because after that, Garo cleans out another couple of dragon level monsters and proceeds to face Sage fucking Centipede, the largest kaiju in the world, its only known affiliation being to God himself. Take a second to let that sink in. This thing is leagues beyond the powers of its inferior version, Elder Centipede, and that thing was so strong it challenged Blast himself, the #1 hero. And what does Garo do? He sliced it right down the middle and killed it in one go. At this point, it's unsurprising that nobody in the world could hope to stand up to Garo, except, of course, Saitama himself, who punches him so hard that he flies halfway across the planet and finally cracks apart fully, revealing his next form, dubbed simply as Monster, Absolute Evil. Now, visually, this form's not all that different from Garo's base monster form, simply making him bigger and pointier. It does, however, increase his strength, speed, and all other stats by a massive amount. In essence, it's the Super Saiyan 2 of his monster forms. Looks aside though, with these overclocked physical stats, his retained martial arts knowledge, his unmatched adaptability, and full control of his mind, Garo easily overwhelms Saitama in their following battle, at least in terms of skill that is. But no matter how many hits he lands and how many he himself dodges, Garo's still fighting the One Punch Man. Thanks to his gimmick power, Saitama's completely unaffected by anything Garo does, and actually talked about how Garo could make a pretty sick hero. Between his frustration at being unable to beat Saitama, his overwhelming hatred for heroes as a whole, and what he translates as an insult from Saitama, Garo's done. In a single moment, his rage explodes, forcing him to evolve yet again into the form known as Monster Gargoyle. In this form, Garo's appearance starts to really match his status as a monster. He's got horns, wings, extra arms, even pointier parts than before, and he's overall way bigger than before. And of course, that comes with even more stat multipliers, bringing him to planetary level. To put that in perspective, at this point, Garo was able to launch Saitama into a mountain so hard that the shockwave from the impact went all the way through the planet and exploded out of the other side of the Earth. Put simply, his power at this point was otherworldly, except Saitama's still just fine. No matter how hard Garo hits him or how many times he does it, it does nothing. And so, faced with a being that simply rejects his efforts by just existing, Garo is thrown into an early midlife crisis. How the hell is he supposed to become the absolute evil that the world needs if this absolute good in front of him is stronger than him? In that moment, as Garo's spirit is wavering, something reaches out to offer him a whole new level of power, a whole new form. This form is known as Garo's Cosmic Fear form, and the voice that reaches out to Garo is that of none other than God himself, who grants his power to defeated souls with unimaginable power. Why? Well, that's a whole other can of worms. But the important thing here is Garo refuses to take some borrowed power that he didn't earn. Just like that, he bats aside the hand of this god's avatar, except that actually has the opposite effect. See, just by coming into contact with God, the power is granted to him, whether he likes it or not. With this, Garo's body is returned to a humanoid shape, with all his features swapped out for a cosmic void. Think Alien X, but with more stars and stuff. Now a cosmic being with the power of God himself, Garo is one of the 3 strongest existences in reality. On top of everything that he already had being dialed up to 11, Garo is now radioactive, and it's not regular old radiation either, but solar radiation flowing off of him in waves at all times, beating only those glows with resistance that can even exist anywhere near Garo. But it's not just passive radiation, because Garo can channel it into his attacks as well. Every punch he throws is accompanied by a nuclear explosion, forcing Blast, the strongest human after Saitama, to be stuck on cleanup duty. Every time Garo throws a punch, Blast has to focus on opening portals to redirect the explosions away from Earth, or the planet would be reduced to space dust. As usual, Garo just does what he does best: adapt and copy. By watching Blast moves and gifted with godly powers, Garo copies his portals and gains the ability of dimensional travel. Paired with his nuclear punches, he'd already be unstoppable, but then he copies something that might be even more dangerous: Saitama's very own normal and serious punches. Picture it, nuclear punches with the power of God plus Saitama's fighting style going up against Saitama himself, blow for blow. The only reason Earth wasn't instantly vaporized is because Blast was working overtime to teleport the shockwave from their clashes into space. What kind of damage do those shockwaves cause? Well, they rip holes into reality itself. Not planets, not stars, not even galaxies or universes. Reality. The clashes between these two erase existence, and the longer this went on, the stronger Garo got, growing with every second of this battle like he always does, except even as that happens, he realizes something pretty important. No matter how much he grows, his punches aren't actually pushing Saitama back. In that moment, with all the universal knowledge he's gained from becoming a godly being, he realizes something: Saitama's growing stronger even faster than he is. Even when Garo uses this universal knowledge to manipulate cosmic forces and hit Saitama with the strongest blast in the universe, the Cape Baldy just tanks it. Realizing that there's no way for him to actually beat Saitama, Garo uses his knowledge to invent something new: time travel. Yes, he just casually invents time travel, only to be killed by God before he can actually use it. Why he did that ties into God's own goals, but we're not here for that. The important thing is that while Garo doesn't manage to use time travel, Saitama manages to copy it from him, allowing him to go back in time before all of this and stop it from ever happening in the first place. So while even Cosmic Fear Garo couldn't actually beat Saitama, it's not wrong to say Saitama never beat him either. In fact, Garo brought his own defeat by teaching Saitama how to time travel. And if you want to learn more about the S-rank heroes mentioned, check out this video here.